The earnings season so far, and given the M&A talk we've had, given the earnings push we've had, could we be reaching out to get to those highs again in the equity markets?
Well, it's been a bit of hit and miss. Some of our larger holdings reported very good earnings over the last couple of days. Apple, Microsoft, I still think both of those are very good value. You're getting those at market multiples or significantly below, with Apple even getting a bit of a dividend yield. And you're getting growth that's outstripping economic growth. So I think you don't want to chase maybe the high growth companies that are at very high multiples right now, but companies that are just ticking along with 5 to 10% earnings growth, giving you a dividend yield while you're getting that. I think those are the most attractive companies right now.
When you hear the likes of David Einhorn talking tech bubbles, do you think, oh boy, here we go again?
Well, bubbles implies you're paying over the odds for things. And if you look at Apple at 11, 12 times earnings, Microsoft's pretty much right in line with the S&P at 14, 15 times earnings. Those aren't bubble multiples.
No, but there are a bunch of them that are firmly in that bubble market, right? In the bubble market territory.
Those are the ones I'd be worried about. I don't know if they're shorts because they are growing, but it's very hard to justify some of the valuations. I think it is something to be a bit concerned about more of the social media companies.
And let's add to that the M&A excitement. You know, some talk of some big ticket deals going on here. Does that suggest to you should be long of some of these major bourses here in Europe as well as the US?
Well, it could be. You've got to look for maybe not the overall exchanges, but the stocks that might be acquisition targets. I think there is a lot of cash, particularly with American companies that have cash domiciled in Europe, and it's hard without tax consequences to bring that back into America, and using that cash to purchase European companies might be the most effective strategy. So I think you will see some of that in the coming quarters.
Do you like the automakers? I mentioned a few of them at the top.
Yeah, we don't have any of the automakers that reported today, but BMW and Volkswagen, we have significant positions in both of those. You're getting economic growth around the world. Purchases are quite strong everywhere. China, US, and even Europe showing a bit of strength now in auto.
The context, and I'm going to talk about it in a second, Obama and Kerry talking Ukraine and Russia again, it seems to be heating up again. What does that do to your mentality as an investor as this starts up again?
Well, we've actually, about a month ago, increased our commodities positions, particularly oil, and that's as a hedge to this Ukrainian crisis. I think there's not going to be a nice clean ending to this. Russia will continue to destabilize the region probably, and at worst it has a military incursion to protect the Russian speakers will be their stance there. And both of those, I think you'll see commodity prices shoot higher. I think it's a very small chance that things just get the way they were hoping to get after Geneva, which was only April 19th, when everyone seemed to have a unified front about getting people out of the government buildings, the Russian pro-separatists, and the rhetoric's changed quite quickly since then.